Recording in progress.
Suggesting you and I might not be the best thing. Exit, somehow I guessed it right. Alright, but I still want you. Don't mean to taunt you. If you leave now, I'll come back and haunt you. You'll remember, return to sender now. Well, I just wish we could go back one more time and begin it. Back before I lost myself somewhere in it. We've been stuck now so long. We just got the start from one more last try. I'ma get the ending right. You can't stop this, and I must insist that you haven't had enough. You haven't had enough. Stuck now so long. We just got the start from no more last place. You better get your story straight. You can't stop this, and I must insist that you haven't had enough. You haven't had enough. I still need ya. Don't mean to tease ya. If you want me, I'll come back and meet ya. Whisper, you must admit you want it. You want it. Well, I just wish we could go back one more time and begin it. Back before I lost myself somewhere in it. Been stuck now so long. We just got the start from one more last try. I'ma get the ending right. You can't stop this, and I must insist that you haven't had enough. You haven't had enough. Stuck now so long. We just got the start from no more last place. You better get your story straight. You can't stop this, and I must insist that you haven't had enough. You haven't had enough. Don't you need it? Don't you want this at all? I'm just suggesting. Don't you need it? Don't you want this at all? Stuck now so long. We just got the start from one more last try. I'ma get the ending. You can't stop this, and I must insist that you haven't had enough. You haven't had enough. Stuck now so long. We just got the start from no more last place. You better get your story straight. You can't stop this, and I must insist that you haven't had enough. You haven't had enough. Testing, I'm just suggesting you and I might just be the best. Gonna make a heartthrob out of me. Just a bit of minor surgery. These desperate times call for desperate measures. I'll give you something to cry about. Show some skin and would be cachet. How could you let this get to desperate measures now? For a first effort, this feels kinda last ditch. I guess this just for so long. Kiss me just once for luck. These are desperate measures now. I can't let this have a piece of American dream. Open up and swallow on your knees and say thank you. I'd like some desperate measures, please. For a first effort, this feels kinda last ditch. I guess this just got kinda drastic. Trust us, you just fell off the bus, suckers. Yeah, well, payback is a motherfucker. I can't let this go. I can't let this go when I got you right where I want you. I've been pushing for this for so long. Kiss me just once for luck. These are desperate measures now. I can't let this go forever, for worse or better. My poor heart will only surrender. Go forever, for worse or better. My poor heart will only surrender now.
Hey, hi, how are we? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gunz here, coming to you on a Thursday. Let's go. It is Trench Day. It's Trench Thursday. What's going on? My hair looks, oh boy, looks very fluffy. Look at that. Looks very fluffy. It's also pointing that way for some reason. What's going on? Hey, hi. My name is Gunz. Welcome to the Gunz Show. Shout out to Trencher Test Kitch saying hello. First time viewer right there. Appreciate you all coming through. Listen, we are going to have a party, my friends. It is going to be an absolute blast. I am so stoked to speak with my good friend, Mr. Josh Ramsay, Marianas Trench. I love Marianas Trench. I think they're one of the most talented, definitely one of the more talented bands out there by far. Marianas Trench is so good. I compare listen, nobody else has 4 vocalists in a band that actually play as well. Nobody does that. They harmonize like nobody else. It's so good. And of course, Josh Ramsay got some things to talk about, some things that he's going to be promoting and more. And we're going to have a damn party. Okay, everybody? It's you, it's me, it's Marianas Trench, and it's a Thursday. And it's going to be so much fun. A couple things I want to get to before we do all of this. I'm going to send out a tweet, so give me 1 second. I just need to send out a tweet telling people to join us, okay? So give me 1 second on that. Come join. Hello, come join Josh Ramsay, Mr. Ramsay, we like to call him, from Marianas Trench. M Trench is the Twitter. Right now on the motherfucking Gunz Show. Let's go. Everybody. Is it weird that I'm speaking out loud while I'm tweeting? Like, imagine if I was just sitting like on the bus somewhere and people are just like, dude is talking to himself. Well, I'm trying to tweet out, okay, everybody? Calm down. Come join the chat and watch along live. It's going to be a damn party. Let's go. Twitch.com/TheGunzShow. Ballin'. Cool. Ballin'. Anyway, just had to take care of some housekeeping there. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Once again, my name is Gunz. It's my last name, okay? And I do a music radio show. It's on Adobe Radio. It's very cool stuff. It's also available on Spotify and on iTunes. So if you like people speaking with some of your favorite musicians, if you like conversations rather than interviews, this is the place to go. It's my last name, Gunz. Everything's on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. The Gunz Show podcast, and then I'm also now on Twitch. So welcome to Twitch if you're not familiar with it. It's video, obviously. Hello, peace. You can ask questions in the chat. You can make sure to follow me, though, and also subscribe. If you subscribe, I'll definitely get your question into Josh Ramsay. We interview a ton of artists. We just had Mod Sun on. Big fan of Mod Sun. We're going to have Simple Plan on in a couple weeks. We're going to have Set It Off on. We've got Under Oath coming on. The band Camino's going to be on. We just had Boston Manor, Neck Deep. And then this artist named Phem, Phem. She's on tour right now with Water Parks. I'm a big fan of Water Parks as well. They'll be on. So The Main has been on the show. I interview pretty much, if you like music, you got to listen to The Gunz Show. So make sure to drop a follow, drop a subscription below, because it is a Trench Thursday, and we're going to have ourselves a party. Where are you all from? Where are you all watching from? I see Saddest Sloth out there saying it keeps the stream's energy up. First-time viewer, loves the energy. Let's go. Let's go. It's a Canadian show. I am in New York City, so I'm not from Canada. So no, it's not just Canada. It's everywhere. We're all friends. We're all trenchers. Let's go. Let's go. Trenches on a Thursday. Let's go. A cool thing about Marianas Trench, I think I know this for a fact. I've interviewed them more than anybody else has. I've been interviewing them for years. I'm talking celebrity status days, Ever After days. Before Ever After came out, I was interviewing them. So I've known these guys for years, and they continue to put out such good music. Wow, Ireland in the chat. Marblew from Ireland is in the chat. Watch Whitney from Ohio. Aurora Smum from Toronto. Long Island, shout out to CGS878. Long Island, Strong Island, we like to call it here. Well, that's so cool. Thank you all for joining us. I'm going to let our good guest in just 1 second, because he just joined. So give us 1 second, and we're going to talk to him, and it's going to be a party. Hello, sir.
Hey.
Hi.
Buddy, how are you?
What's up, man? You look fantastic, and I miss you.
I bet you say that to all the guys.
No. There's a special place in my heart for Mr. Josh Ramsay. Are you good, man? Can I switch over? You ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do it.
Let's do this, dude. 1 second, just doing what we do here. We got a great audience, great chat. There he is right now. Give it up.
Hi.
I was gonna do the intro to Ever After, like, oh, like, you know, for you coming like that, like just here he is. What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. How have you been?
Good. You know, we'll do some catching up. I've been in New York City throughout the whole entire pandemic.
Yeah.
A little rough at times, just like everybody across literally the globe. But it seems to be, we're turning things around. We started doing more concerts, live events, been doing emo nights, all sorts of things. So we're getting there. We're getting back, dude.
Yeah, it's certainly been a fucking weird year and a half or 2 years or whatever it's been, but it's nice to see parts of the world sort of turning back on slowly.
Yeah, better to be doing that than what we had to go through. But still, it's going to take some time. But positive vibes only. That's what we do. For anybody that might not know, this is Josh Ramsay from Marianas Trench. Chat room's blowing up. We'll definitely get a lot of your questions in. I'm stoked that the love for Marianas Trench and of course Josh is happening and still going strong.
A great honor.
I was telling them, man, we've known each other for years. I'm talking
long time.
Celebrity status days. You were on the Gunz Show, like back in the day, bro. Ever After.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's been a really long time. Yeah, for sure. You guys at home, I think, no, this wasn't the last time I saw you. I think this is the time before. There was one time that we were playing a show in Long Island and you came. And while I was on stage, I said, like, well, we're in Long Island. I feel like I should be drinking a Long Island iced tea. And it was like right at the end of the show in the encore. So Gunz sends up a whole round of Long Island iced teas. Now, I didn't know that Long Island iced teas are a 5-ounce drink. I did not know that. I'm not from New York. I did not know that. So I take a sip, and the dangerous thing is it doesn't taste like a 5-ounce drink, which I now know. So I have a sip, and I'm like, oh, that's good, but I got to get to the encore, so I just slam the drink. I get through the acoustic song, no problem, and then our last song was at that time was "End of an Era" from Astoria, and the drink hit me right at the spot when I had to play a guitar solo, and I just had to play like 4 notes. But all of a sudden, it was like the scene in Old School when Will Ferrell takes the trank dart to the neck.
You got a dart in your neck, bro. You got a dart in your butt.
So the whole thing hit me, and I looked down at my hand, and I was like, okay, buddy, we just got to get through these 4 notes. And my hand was like, nope. But luckily, I only had to make it like 1 minute more of the set. So
that's that Gunz Show effect, baby. That's how we roll. That is so funny. I remember just in the middle of it, somebody, it was either you or Matt or somebody, would just be like, fucking Gunz. Like, look what you did. Look what you did. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I definitely have seen you, obviously, literally throughout the years. I remember the like the Glamour Kills tour back in the day and stuff. You were doing like Friends of Sickest Kids shows and stuff. Like, damn, dude, it's been a good run. And you know, we got a lot to promote and a lot to talk about. Many people, make sure to just drop a follow below. Let's catch up with you though, man, because you've I must say, during the pandemic or the last year or so, you got much more active in your Instagram. I remember you were doing some cooking and some studio tours. You did a lot more posting during time, probably because there was nothing else to do, right?
Yeah, well, I've been doing the cooking show thing for about a year and a half, but only randomly. Like I'm not like actually a YouTuber, obviously. Like those guys put out like 3 or 4 videos a week, where I managed to crank out like 3 or 4 every 6 months. But yeah, it's fun.
It'd be funny because I'd be scrolling through because literally there was nothing else to do. So it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna scroll and buy things off Instagram that I don't need because of the targeted ads. And it's funny. Have you ever bought anything off social media and then it comes and you're just like, well, this is not what it looked like on the photo?
I think maybe one really crappy shirt. But I learned my lesson quickly. Most of my targeted stuff is all guitars. It's all guitars. So I'm not going to buy a guitar through Instagram. So, but yeah, I did buy one shirt. I bought one shirt and it showed up and it smelled like cigarettes. It came out of plastic wrap and it smelled like cigarettes, like smoking cigarettes. And I was like, well, this is going right in the garbage.
Don't need that. Thanks anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is true. Like I would scroll through and literally buy things. I bought a Peloton. I didn't buy a Peloton off Instagram, but I did buy one. And then I found out, Josh, that...
I just bought one too, actually.
Well, this is probably not a good sell for it. I found out after I spent a ton of money that I don't like riding bikes. And...
Wow, yeah, that sucks.
I was like, this sucks. I was like, this is really bad. So I probably used it, I kid you not, maybe 3 times. And I was just like, this sucks.
Oh, wow. Nice. I mean, you had to know there was going to be some cardio involved, right? You not think of that?
It looks so easy in the commercials. It's like...
Yeah, it always does. It always does. I remember years ago did you ever do P90X? Did you ever do that when that was in fashion?
Oh, that was the that was massive cardio, right? Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah, I did that. I used to do that one. And it was always so crushing because like you start it and meanwhile the guy teaching it is like 55 years old, but he only looks like he's 25 years old and he's like not even breaking a sweat. And he's just like, no problem. And meanwhile I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm dying.
It's like my heart hurts right now. It's like
yeah.
We got to give a special shout out. I guess the whole point of this was the fact that you've been using social media more, and you actually teased something that we're going to talk about. But one of the things, it'd be funny. I'd scroll through and be like, "Hey, it's me. I'm Josh." Like just out of nowhere, just screaming at me. I'd scroll through it on Instagram and be like, "Hey, it's Josh. Like I'm going to cook for you." So it always caught me right away. Trencher Test Kitch says that your recipes do come out really good. I've tried them all. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. You got one. You got one that followed your recipe. So.
Yeah. Well, basically, like maybe about 5 years ago, I went through a time when I was supposed to be working on an album, on the Astoria album, and I went through this huge depression for 6 months. I couldn't write anything, but I needed a creative outlet. So I basically, through online education, took myself through culinary school to like learn how to do something creative because I just needed a new skill at the time. So it's like... And now I just stuck with it, I guess.
Now, what would the other band members think about this? Because the way I know you is you're very smart and intelligent. Do they approve of when you're just like, oh, I need something else to distract me? Like, just distractions everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I think they know me so well at this point. I think they're like, he's just got to tucker himself out. Just let him tucker himself out.
Holy
That's kind of my thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like, let him do his thing. He'll be back in 2 months. Like, he'll be okay.
Yeah, like I sort of have like, I feel like it's kind of like my brand that I'm just like super high energy all the time. And I just, that really is me in real life. And I just, I need to do stuff. I need creative outlets all the time or I go crazy. Yeah. This is me when I'm like Zen. And imagine if I have nothing to do. It's bad.
Yeah, it's you can only imagine, which is why you crush it on stage though, because the energy is always 110% when you see Marianas Trench, when you see Josh, when you see them tour and do so much great stuff. We'll get to your questions in just a minute. Make sure to drop a follow below. Trencher6 says that they've been a fan for 8 years and that you're such wonderful people.
Oh.
They mean a lot. So shout out to Trencher6 right there. Make sure to drop a follow, subscribe.
Oh, that's really nice. That's very nice. Thank you.
But we've got some cool things because I got an email, my man. I got an email from my friends over at Big Picture, okay? And it just said, Josh Ramsay. And I was like, yes, let's fucking go. Let's go.
Okay.
And then I saw the announcement. Big Picture's here in New York City, obviously, and a couple of them are in LA, but I've known them for over a decade. Great people. They used to rent me as well. You've got some stuff happening, man. You did a little teaser video on Instagram that we saw. Tell us what's going on, because I'm so happy that things are going on with you.
Thanks, pal. Well, basically, look, I had always planned on at some point in my life, I want to do a multi-instrumentalist record where I just play everything myself. And really the opportunity to do that had never come up because obviously that was going to be a time-consuming thing. And the guys in the band always knew that I was going to do that at some point, and I had like everyone's full support. We're all like so tight with each other. And then the pandemic happened. And especially like remember like the first part of the pandemic when it was like you don't leave your house ever. Like remember when it was that part of the pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I do. Here in New
so
York City,
when it was
yeah,
right, everywhere. So when that hit, I basically was like, well, this is the best opportunity I'm ever going to have to do this solo thing I've been thinking about doing forever because I'm just locked inside anyway. So basically I just was locked in, I basically just stayed at home for a year and made this album.
And you're exactly right. Like, and obviously it's all friendship and family. That's what Trench is. You guys have gone through literally everything together. So it's definitely understandable. Sure. And you did do a lot of, throwing instruments. Anyone who's been able to see the recording process, you do know how to play a lot of different things. And I'm not surprised that this was eventually going to happen. How does it feel though that it is actually happening now though, man?
It's a bit weird, a little bit naked feeling, but I'm really excited. I hope people like it. I think the first thing I had to think about was okay, so if I'm going to do a record on my own, I should not just go away by myself and just make a Marianas Trench album on my own without the other guys. That's not the right choice to make. I don't think the guys in the band would appreciate that, and I don't think our fans would appreciate that. And it's kind of like, what would be the point of me doing that? Why bother? Right. So then I was like, I started thinking about it. It started with my manager being like, so if you're not going to make a Marianas Trench album, what are you going to do? Do you want to just make like one of those introspective acoustic singer-songwriter records? Because that's usually what lead singers do when they do a solo record. And I was like, no, that's not me. That's not me. So then I was like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write as many genres as I can think of and as many things that I've always wanted to do that I've just like never done. So most of the choices are songs that would not have appeared on a Marianas Trench album. There's like maybe 2 or 3 that could, but most of them really wouldn't fit on a Marianas record. And that was sort of my goal, was to do something different and wacky. And in that announcement video, there's like a big band song playing. That's the intro to one of the songs on the record that is a full-on big band swing song. Nice. Like it's really all over the place. The fun thing about it is when people listen to it from start to finish, it's like the only through line is really that my voice still sounds like my voice. That doesn't change. So, but in terms of the listening experience, I think it's really all over the place. It's like, here's a rock song, here's big band swing, here's country, here's EDM, here's grunge. Like I went ham and just did as many ideas as I could think of.
So what you're telling me is that no matter what mood I'm in or no matter what situation I might be placed in, there's probably a song that will be able to relate to that.
Or there's a lot of nothing for everyone. I don't know.
And I think that's cool how you kind of describe to deliberately be a Trench thing, so where did we go? But you look at your influences. For anybody who's done interviews, or I've had you on Louis forever. You do cite different musical influences, and now you actually have the opportunity to kind of pay homage to them, or just be able to just give props or use those influences to what you want to do.
Yeah, totally. And writing, I mean, it's still a pop record. But it's just a lot of different kinds of pop that I haven't done before. But I have done a lot of it before outside of Marianas Trench, because I'd write a lot of songs for other artists as well. So it almost felt a little bit more like that. It's very all over the place, but it's really fun. It's really fun. I'm really proud of it.
You mentioned before, as we speak here, from Josh Ramsay. Of course, you can follow him on all the social media. As this is Gunz. This is the Gunz Show. Gunz with a Z. It's my last name. You can drop a follow below. This also is available on iDoby Radio, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. The Gunz Show's everywhere. So if you have a podcast or Spotify, open it up, follow the Gunz Show, subscribe to the channel. Gonna get your questions in just a minute. I see you guys out there, very excited. Well, TJ right there, 858. TJ858 wanted to know, will you rap on any songs? And then it says boots and cats and boots and cats.
That's about as far as my rap game goes. I actually did on the solo record. There's one song that I didn't finish. That actually was in a hip hop direction. But I was just going to do the singing part and then get someone else to do rapping, because I don't think anyone wants to hear me rap.
Gotcha. So we get to the edge of that, but not fully on board.
That was the one song I didn't finish. But at that point I was like, well, there's 18 tracks. Do we really need more?
Wow. So it's 8. So we have literally something for everybody, man. And that's kind of cool. How was the experience writing and just dealing with stuff? Are you one of those people that, because I feel like with Trench, it's just like you guys tour, and then like you do have some time off. When in the past with those Trench years and stuff, would you be writing on the road, or was it kind of like, I can't write on the road, I need to be home and hunker down? How was that different than the pandemic level?
Yeah, with Marianas records, I might have a couple of melodies or something in my head while we're touring, but I don't really sit down and write on the road. And my process for songwriting is like sit down at a computer and record and produce a song fully, and I write it as I go. So that's not really something that translates very well to me doing it on the road.
Yeah. So when you had time this, for the last year and a half, or like building up to this solo stuff, are you the type of, was it hard to kind of get the thoughts out because we were kind of all stuck inside?
No, man, it was perfect. It was perfect. I was stuck inside with no distractions. It was awesome. And the other thing for me that was different on this album, versus the most recent Marianas Trench album, on the last Marianas album, Phantoms, I personally felt like there was a looming deadline, and I wanted that album to have a couple more songs than it did, but there was a deadline, and it was just like, what are you going to do? Whereas this, it was like, because the pandemic was happening, basically the whole industry shut down. I mean, it's still kind of half shut down, but I mean, basically the whole industry just shut down. So there was no fucking deadlines. I could just sit by myself and take as long as I wanted and be as meticulous as possible. So, I mean, it is a very slick, well-produced record. I think it's, I really took my time on this. Yeah.
All the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed over and over and over. The T's are crossed, like Frank,
Well, also, if I was going to do something by myself, I was like, well, it better be fucking good. If I'm going to do something that's 18 tracks long and it's just me doing it.
If my name's up there. Yeah. No pressure.
I mean, it really is just me. I mean, like it's just, the only thing that's not me, I mean, obviously I did the editing, the producing, but there are a couple of songs where we used a horn section, and there are a couple of songs where we used the symphony orchestra. So I didn't do that stuff. I recorded it and wrote it, but I didn't play it. Oh my God, recording the orchestra was insane.
Tell us about it. Give us it.
Okay, so I wrote this song. It's the last song in the album. It's a song that I wrote as a tribute to my dad, who I lost last year. And I wrote him a full symphony. I wrote him it's just me singing and a really epic symphony. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do it with real players because of the pandemic. So I did it all with sample libraries, and I spent forever working on it. And then I realized we could do it during the pandemic as long as we only recorded like 4 people in the room at once. Okay. So I recorded a whole symphony orchestra, 4 people at a time. And just stacked it on top of each other. It took forever. The editing took weeks to put together after to make it all sound like one thing. But it was like sort of the most epic recording session I think I've ever done.
And he would be obviously very proud of you as well that you were able to put this all together and make it happen and have it come out the way it did, you know?
I think so. I mean, one of the big musical things that I learned from my dad was about music arranging, and like that's where I learned all that stuff. So I really wanted to write something that felt like a big flex for my dad.
There you go. That's awesome, man. And good for you. Obviously, sorry for the loss and whatnot, but that is cool how you we continue on the legacy, we continue on and we honor them and we do things that they would be proud of and that, our success makes them proud as well. And that the way that you're able to do this and this album now coming out, I mean, you go from probably the worst time in your life to now, maybe this is a coming of age moment for you. It's like kind of interesting how that happens sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote a song for my mom as well.
Right. Yeah.
I lost them inside of 6 months.
Yeah.
But rather than writing something, neither of them are sad songs though. They're both really like nice and uplifting songs because I wouldn't have been my parents' style to write sad sack songs about longing. They're very full of love and fun and stuff. And I think they would have both been proud.
We're speaking here with Josh Ramsay, of course, Marianas Trench, and his solo stuff. 18 songs, my friends. We are going.
Yeah.
Listen. Go big or go home. Josh went.
A Baker's 18. A Baker's 18.
We're super excited for it. A lot of people are talking about it. Here's the next logical question, and one of the trenchers asked this: is there a release date? Do we at least know what season it might come out in?
Yeah. So the first single, which is myself and Chad Kruger, that one comes out. That comes out very soon, and I'm not allowed to say the actual release date yet, but it is the very beginning of the spring.
Gotcha. Okay, so just a couple months away. So just get through the winter, and then.
But we're gonna release a couple. Yeah, we're gonna release a couple songs before that.
Gotcha, and we're looking forward to that. And I did see. It's so funny with Chad because I understand the. Your publicist just announced the first single is December 3rd. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. Becky, everybody, there you go. Becky, we got that. First single, December 3rd, rock and roll. Big picture. Appreciate that. So it is. So you bring up Chad, and I'm an American. And there's something about Chad, like, what I mean? There's the memes and the Nickelback and all that stuff. I'm a stupid American. What do you expect, But I know he's insanely talented, has been able to obviously work with great musicians, knows how to write hooks, and like it's sometimes it's not a running joke like Nickelback, haha. But those in the industry, my Nashville friends and stuff, are like, yo, he fucking knows his shit, dude. Pay him respect. You worked with him. Definitely. I saw the Insta. Tell me about that situation, about this song, man.
Chad and I have been friends for a really long time. He is the co-owner of the record label that I'm on. So we've known each other for a really long time. I worked on a Nickelback record with him, doing a couple of co-writes a few years ago. And I'd always wanted him to come sing something with me. Originally he was going to do a tiny feature vocal on the Marianas Trench song Astoria. He was going to go, "Do I survive you, Astoria?" That was going to be Chad, and it just didn't work out. And it ended up being my sister. And then on this song, you guys haven't heard it yet, but basically it's like a real 70s rock song with a horn section. Like I was kind of going for what if I was kind of going for like Lenny Kravitz, like that type of vibe. Nice. And it's the type of song that no one would expect me to be on or him. Like it doesn't sound like either of us. It doesn't sound like a Nickelback song. It does not sound like a Marianas Trench song. It sounds like something different. But our voices together ended up being really fun, and we both delivered like a pretty screamy rock vocal on it. So I almost joked that like maybe we should change the title of the song to like A Tale of Two Chainsaws or something like that, because we're both just like "Ow!" the whole time. But it's really fun, man. It's really fun. I think people are gonna like it. I think Nickelback fans are gonna be surprised to hear him in this context, and his voice works so well. It works amazing.
You have me jazzed up right now, dude. I'm ready to fucking go. I'm ready to run through the streets of New York City. That has me so pumped up, dude. Just hearing how excited you are about it makes me happy. Like, I'm pumped.
I am very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited.
The chat's blowing up. Somebody named Tay mentioned that some of the heavier stuff that Chad's done is some of their favorites. They mentioned that the heavy rock stuff. There's definitely that element, and that's cool that you were able to bring it out. So.
Yeah, but like I said, this doesn't sound like Nickelback, and it doesn't sound like Marianas. It sounds like if I took all of the elements that were fun about 70s rock, and then I gave them some crack and just let them smoke that for a while, and then just threw them all together. It's like all of the 70s at once.
December 3rd, kids. What can go wrong? It's going to be a party. It's a party. Let's go. Let's go. Somebody named Stephanie in the chat said, I'm so hyped right now. We got a lot of whoop whoops. And then just, somebody said something about the chainsaw emoji and the Instagram, like all sorts of stuff. So they know. The trenches always know, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. And what I'm really stoked about this is the Marianas Trench. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. Fucking love you guys. Consider you guys my friends and stuff. But, I still drunk text Matt and Mike a good amount of Marianas Trench lyrics when I'm hammered. And I'll be like,
Great.
I'm listening to this part of this song and it means so much. Or like, I love this riff. So I don't know if they appreciate it, but they do laugh in the text message. So that's so that happens. But this is cool for you to also bring in even more of an additional fan base that might not be familiar with you. That's cool.
Maybe we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. That's part of the exciting thing about it at this point. You have that sort of I have that sort of like night before the prom feeling,
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, or story of my life right there. Yeah, God, prom was. Were you prom king? What were you like? So, how about this? We had these things called superlatives in high school. So, in the yearbook, where it was like best eyes or like best athlete or some shit. I got most likely to become famous. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Nice.
Nailed it. And here I am. Let's go. Did you have any of that in high school, or like what would you have been if you were given an award voted on by your peers? What would it have been?
I did. Real talk. I got kicked out of high school in grade 12, but I still did make it to the prom, even though I wasn't in school anymore, and I was still in the yearbook, I think. I believe. Sorry, I should have turned that off. So at the time that I was in high school, my dad was an on TV personality for the Chevron gas company. So he was always in commercials he did the Chevron commercials for like 20 years. So I'm pretty sure my one was like, will we ever see like Josh in a Chevron commercial? I think that was like most likely to be in a Chevron commercial or something. Yeah.
My senior year of high school, I played John Mayer, Your Body is a Wonderland. And for 4 years, all I wanted to do is play the talent show. And I played that, but I went to a Catholic school, and apparently they deemed the lyrics not good. And they started shutting the curtain on me because Your Body in a Wonderland wasn't acceptable, and ruined my senior year. And I went up to the principal and said, I'm going to make so much money, I'm going to bulldoze this school. You just ruined my high school experience. And I slammed the guitar and cracked my acoustic everywhere. So that was my...
You did not. Wow, that is emotional.
Dude, I was waiting for this moment my whole life, and you're telling me it won Best Song Grammy that year, and I couldn't play it in front of 1,000 people? I smashed my guitar, dude. I was so mad. So I'm not vengeful. I said I would just bulldoze the school. Like, that is pretty fucked up. But I'm glad we both have senior year experiences that. But look at us now, right? Look at us now.
I got made fun of in high school for wanting to be. I didn't know right away whether I wanted to do just acting or just music, but I knew it was like some sort of combination of those things. And I did have to do in like the 10th grade in like English class, everyone had to get up and do like a 5-minute presentation on what they wanted to do after high school. And they had to have reasons on why they thought that was a good idea and stuff. And I got up and talked about how I was going to be a songwriter and sing and maybe do some acting. And here's reasons why, because I've already been writing these songs and I can play these instruments and stuff. And the kids all laughed at me in the class. And one kid was like, well, can you sing us Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, please? And who's laughing now, bitch?
Bitch, what up? Mic drop. Let's go. Living well is the best revenge, motherfuckers. Let's go. We're here with Josh Ramsay from Marianas Trench. New single coming out, solo single from him. Will be coming out December 3rd. Definitely subscribe, follow him on all the socials and everything. I want to get to a couple questions. Sounds good from the fans. Is that cool, Josh?
Let's do it.
Cody Smith 73 says your dad killed it in those commercials, by the way. So shout out to Cody. If you have questions, feel free to drop them right now. A lot of people want to know about tour and things like that. I always say to everybody I've interviewed, all the guests, We have no idea what's really going to happen as far as tour goes. If you're able to go to a certain place, Josh Ramsay will go to a certain place. Am I right on that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I know in terms of the solo record, I know there's definitely going to be a Canadian tour. There's definitely going to be an American tour. And there are definitely going to be some dates in Europe. I do know that.
How about that? We're getting all the news right there. We've got Broken Dolls. 98 is from Ireland. So maybe you'll stop in Ireland along the way.
I would love to. You know, the last couple times we've been near there, we never made it over to Ireland. We got close, but we did not get to Ireland. And I would still love to see it.
CGS878 wants to know, I saw your show at Irving Plaza, New York City in 2015. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that show. Yep.
I was there. I was jamming out. This person goes,
You were there.
Fuck yeah. Anytime I was, we were jamming.
You were there, yeah.
You sang a Billy Joel acoustic song. Question, what is your favorite Billy Joel acoustic song to sing, either solo or as a band?
Billy Joel. He's a true artist. I'm a big fan. He's written some beautiful music. I'm pretty sure the song I would have done there was probably his song "And So It Goes" because we've done that sometimes. That is one of my favorites of his. It's a beautiful song. It's a very vulnerable song, and I just think the lyrics are so incredibly honest.
There it is. So there's your answer right there. We did get this a couple times, a couple questions. Obviously, you're big in the music videos. Are you going to, without having the rest of the guys, or an aesthetic like that, or is this literally just separate from Trench that you're doing right now with the solo stuff?
It's totally separate.
Gotcha.
But Chad and I already shot the music video for this.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So there will be music videos there.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got people. Sudbury is there. Somebody saying that they expect you've given them hope to become a musician. Very cool stuff there. They love the tour story video you posted on TikTok. This person wrote.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start doing those every week. I'll do tour stories every week. Yeah.
Aurora says, "What was the hardest song for you on this album?" Once we all hear it.
The hardest song on the album was probably that symphony song. The symphony song for my dad, I think, was probably the hardest, just because of the technical aspects of trying to record that. And also in terms of while I was writing the symphony stuff, it was the first time, like I've written stuff that with using symphony orchestra lots of times, but this was the first time that I was really, really trying to emote with just the notes and really, really focus on that feeling very expressive. So I think that was like one of the hardest I've and then including all of the editing and the crazy recording, that's probably the hardest I've ever had to work on a single song.
Did you, that sounds, yeah. The editing, people don't understand, the editing can drive you have to be so meticulous, and I don't have that skill. I would just be walking in circles. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and the thing about that song is the way you record a symphony orchestra is you might have like mics per section, but most of it just comes from 3 mics at the top. But because we had to record so few at a time, we're doubling up on those extra mics every time. So that song had like 350 tracks for me to put together.
I can't.
It was a lot.
Stop my anxiety. Trencher Tess wants to know, in the past, you've always had some literary inspiration for the songs. Any this time around?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm not sure. There probably are, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Cody wants to know, what's one genre you did for this album that you think fans won't expect you to have done? You kind of listed a bunch of them off already, but was there one that was super fun, maybe? Something that was super, you're like, hey, this is actually kind of rad.
I think people are going to be surprised at a lot of it. That big band swing tune, I think at first people are going to be like, what the fuck? And then they're going to go, actually, you know what? This is pretty catchy. And while I was working on that one, that song is called Blame It on the Beat. And while I was working on it, I did the vocals at home, and I was really trying to get into that. It's really fast. I was really trying to get into this swing. Blame it on the beat and blame it on the rhythm. If your feet just gotta get out, yeah. And I was really trying to get into it, and I was stomping my feet so hard that my wife eventually came downstairs, and she was like, "You're shaking the whole house. I need you to just relax." And I was like, "Babe, I'm getting into it here. Come on."
I'm blaming it on the beat. I'm just blame. Yeah. Don't blame me. Blame the beat. Man. Don't blame me. Blame the beat. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, this is so much fun here with Josh Ramsay. A couple more questions coming in. A lot of people are stoked about like hearing a country vibe from you as well.
There is a country song. We're shooting a video for that one in a couple weeks.
We got Christy here. Besides writing music, what other activities kept you busy over the lockdown, Josh?
Guys, it's 18 tracks. I did nothing but write music.
That's it. That's it.
That's all I did.
What is the, are there ever moments where, I've asked this to a couple different people. I just had John Feldman on, by the way, who obviously crushes it when it comes to producing as well.
Yeah, Feldy's great. We know each other a bit. He's a great producer.
Feldy's, yeah, he got that new Avril. He's, absolutely just crushing it. Him and Travis are doing a ton of stuff. Travis
Actually, he produced a song that I wrote, now that I think about it. I wrote a song for 5 Seconds of Summer a few years ago that he produced. Right, that's where we know each other from. Yeah.
There you go. And one of the questions that I've asked him or others is kind of like, what's the longest time that you've been like in a, not even a session, but like, what's like the longest you've worked on just a single project without like going for a walk or leaving like have you been in a room for 10 hours just staring at fucking edits?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. I've definitely been working on stuff where I'm like, I'm working and working and I'm like, I feel kind of hungry. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't eaten in like 2 days. Holy shit. That's not good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like, but those are the best times. Like when you are so invested in it. And for me, the whole thing is like, you want the creative momentum to be big. And if the creative momentum is so strong that you don't realize that you haven't gotten up for 10 hours, that's where you want to be. That's great. That means you're the most inspired.
Right. And yeah, when you don't realize that time's passing by because you're so into it and you're living, then that's cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the payoff is always cool. This is a fun one. California Trenchers. Shout out to them. Obviously, they've been big supporters throughout the years. Thousands of followers right there. Shout out to MTrenchCA. This one's kind of interesting.
Hey guys.
With everything going on. Is there a song of yours that you would want to re-record in a different way, i.e., like Taylor has done with the with Red and all those albums now?
With Taylor's version of everything. You know what? I don't know if it's gonna get released or not, but I did just recently do a recall, like going back through Call Me Maybe and looking at all the tracks and like sort of like re-looking at what we did 10 years ago. And that would be one that I would love to do a different version of, just because my string samples are so much better now. It's very simple. I want to redo the strings.
You're like,
that's it. Carly's vocal could stay the same. I want to do more strings on that song.
You realize that song, I mean, that song is still an absolute smash. And I know you've talked about it throughout the years, but, I do those emo nights, and even though it's not an emo song, I put it on because I just want people to have a good time. And, you throw that on and people just lose their fucking minds. Is there you probably have done this in the past, but I don't know the answer, so I'm going to ask you because you're my buddy. Is there a story or like something about that song or even the recording that was kind of an interesting thing or people might not know about how something?
Sure. Yeah, you know what? I've seen a lot of different conflicting reports on that song, and I'll just set the record straight, maybe. I've seen a lot of stuff that just said like that I gave it a pop makeover or something like that, which is not what happened at all. Basically, Carly and Tav wrote a totally different song. It was a different melody, different lyrics, different chords, but it had in the pre-chorus, I just met you, call me maybe. It had that melody and that lyric, but it was like in a lower key, and it was the pre-chorus. And then there's a whole different song. And then Carly showed up to my studio because we were going to work on something. And one of Carly's great gifts is she's very prolific. She comes up with a lot of stuff. So she show up to a session and be like, okay, so I've got like 35 song ideas. Let's pick one. Like that's like a total Carly thing to do, which is a great problem to have. It's way better than someone showing up being like, I have nothing. Like it's awesome that she has so many ideas.
Right.
So she showed me that song. And what we did is we took the one line, we took the, I just met you, call me maybe. We took the melody and the lyric and we left the rest of the song alone. And then we put that as the chorus, put it in a new key, new tempo, new chords to go with it. And we wrote a whole new song around that one line. So we just took the one line out of her old original song. And then Carly and I just sort of equally together wrote a new song.
And it became the jam, like the one. Yeah.
It's really funny, man. In hindsight at the time, you can't predict something like that. You really can't. I've done a lot of interviews where people are like, so what's the secret? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. That we got so lucky with that song, and it had so many lives. It was like, people don't maybe have forgotten too, like it had come up and then had gone down in Canada. It was going down, and then Justin Bieber tweeted about it, and then it went up, and then it went up everywhere, and it smashed everywhere, and then it became a viral hit, and then there were all the memes, and then there were all the celebrities doing lip syncing. It was just like, it never ended. It was crazy, and you can't possibly predict some sort of luck like that. That's like lightning in a bottle. I will tell you the one funny thing from my perspective though, is like when there was like a new celebrity doing a lip sync to it, or when there was any new meme for it, I would get sent that video by every single person who I've ever met in my entire life. Every time it would be like, oh, here's James Franco singing it, as like 2,000 people send me that. It was never ending. It was never ending for like 2 years.
You're like, oh, somebody did something because here's my phone. I just woke up to 500 messages.
Yeah, every time.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'd say it's a good problem to have, but that can it's something. It's something. All right. We got 3 more questions here. I appreciate everybody. Make sure to drop a follow. Josh, you're awesome for keeping around with us. I really appreciate it.
Hey, let's do it, man. I'm happy to see you.
Marbleu wants to know, who would be your dream collab, living or dead? Or one of both?
I mean, Freddie Mercury or Brian Wilson.
Wow.
I would say. Because I want to just like get into the vocals, man, or maybe all 3 of us. That would be a jam.
Yeah.
In terms of someone living that I would like to do a collab with, actually, I'm a huge Kesha fan. I would love to work with Kesha at some point.
Nice.
I think we both have that like, who gives a shit what genre we're doing type vibe, and just like have fun and just do whatever. And I like that she's like a very outside of the box artist that way. And yeah, maybe at some point we will.
Very cool. Love that. Ash wants to know, you tweeted that you'd love to write a song for a Marvel movie. Which superhero do you identify with the most? Or which one would you want to write for?
Hey, guys.
If Marvel calls, you'll do whatever. Yeah, you'll do whatever.
If I get the opportunity to do anything for a Marvel movie, it's a yes. I don't care if it's like the most obscure character of all time that no one has ever heard of, a spinoff of Guardians of the Galaxy 19, and it's just starring some worm. I'll do it.
It's so true. It's so funny when you look at those things, because it's like, why are they making a Scream 5? It's like, do we really need 5 Screams? But you know what? If I ever got a call...
Because there's so much story left to tell!
It's so much But if I ever got the call to act in it, I'd be like, sign me up. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, any of those like straight to DVDs, I don't care, man. Or straight to stream. Yeah. Sign me up, man. Sign me up.
Transformers #9, you said? Yes, I'm in.
Sign me up. I am a big air drummer. I also love like, jamming around and just singing along and everything. If I'm front row or side stage, wherever I might be, or say like I'm just a fan in the audience, and you like catch eyes with me or whatnot, or to an audience member, and they're maybe drumming on the wrong beat, which personally drives me nuts if I'm at a bar and I'm tapping along to a song and somebody's on the end instead of the one, so they're on the one end to end, and I'm just like freaking out because I'm like, you're wrong. But coming from somebody on stage, if you see somebody and they messed up the words a little bit or the timing's off, does that affect you?
Yeah, the words, no, it doesn't affect me, because no one is going to screw up the words worse than I already probably am. I fuck up the words every single show, and anyone who has been to a Marianas show will confirm this. I know, guys. I know. I'm not good at words.
Yeah.
I will admit, though, there's always somebody that every single show, if there's ever like a clap along, there's always some guy that's like, clap, 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 just so out of time. Can't possibly, I'll watch it and be like, how are you this out of time? I don't like necessarily make fun of that person, but I'm just kind of like, great try. There's sometimes where you see someone who's so off the beat that you're like, wow, you don't feel anything. That's amazing.
You're not feeling the beat. You know what I mean? You're not feeling the beat.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's so funny, man. It is Josh Ramsay. It is Marianas Trench. I think kind of final thing is let's circle back to you. Have you been watching anything on Netflix or anything that's kind of buzzing with you these days?
What have I been watching? Let me think about that. I enjoyed it's like the same people that did The Haunting of Hill House, but it was like the vampire one that they did this year. I liked that one. Midnight Mass. I liked Midnight Mass. I thought that was pretty good.
Okay.
Did
you watch Squid Game? Did you watch Squid Game?
I haven't done it yet. I know I will. I haven't done it yet. I know.
Yeah.
Were you a fan?
I was a fan the first. Oh, yeah, I watched it. I was like, "What the heck's happening?" Because it's subtitles and whatnot. So like you kind of lose like what's happening. I watched and I never do this, but I was like, "There's got to be more here. I'm confused." And I watched like a YouTube tutorial, like what I just saw, and they explained what happened, and I rewatched it, and I loved it. So I actually watched it twice, and I don't do that.
Okay.
But I needed the help. You know what I mean? It's like I needed. So I don't know if that means it's a good show if I had to YouTube what I just watched. like tell me what I just saw. Like the themes went right through my head. So I don't know if I'm the idiot or maybe I don't know. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of column A, a bit of column B. I don't know. I in terms of watching stuff, like I think I really enjoyed Ted Lasso. We watched that.
Yes,
I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
You know, I think a show like that is probably so. I think the pandemic probably really helped that show because it's like, can we just have one positive thing, guys? Can we just have one thing that's positive and nice? And I think that show is like, you know, heartwarming in the right way. That I think people are just like, I don't want to see any more sad shit. Okay, the world is on fire. Just I think that, and you know, I've been doing a lot of gaming. I just finally got a PS5, so I'm looking forward to losing myself to that.
Well, welcome to the Twitch world for sure. Of course, Twitch does a lot of streaming. I just officially partnered with Twitch Music. We're doing a lot of these streams. It's just John Feldman on. We got the main coming up, the band Camino, who are incredible. If you don't know the band Camino, you gotta learn.
Know them, yeah.
Fucking love band Camino. They just got off tour with Dan and Shay, so you gotta learn them if you don't. But yeah, great stuff. Twitch Music. Drop a follow, drop a subscription. Wanna end on this one? It's by two questions real quick. Trench in the Parks wants to know. Question for Josh. When you're writing lyrics, do you prefer pen to paper, notes app, computer, or just singing and kind of just going straight to track?
I absolutely do pen to paper. When I was working on this album, Fifi Dobson actually made fun of me about it. She was like, "You're not still using a pen and paper." I only use pen and paper. I was actually kind of sad about this, but I've been using the same lyric book since the Astoria album. Used the same lyric book the whole time. Only one, and my car got broken into, and someone stole my fucking lyric book. Of all the things,
out of everything.
So I just recently lost my lyric book.
Oh no.
But yeah, so I need to get another one. But somewhere out there, my lyric book is out there now.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I was upset to lose it, but you know what? I got to start a new one. On with the new.
On with the new. And of course, speaking on with the new, this would be a great transition. December 3rd, Josh Ramsay, solo stuff. You, my friends, can hear it. They've got music videos that are coming out. The full album will be out next year, sometime next year. Okay.
Early next year. Yeah.
Early next year, we can say that. And dude,
and I think we're gonna put out 2 more singles before the album comes out. I think there's 3 before it comes out.
In the words of a movie that I base my life on, it's all happening. Almost Famous, because I always wanted to be a journalist and broadcaster.
It's all happening.
It's all happening. Almost Famous.
Yeah, they're all here. They're all here. It's all happening. Yeah.
You are home. You are home. Let's go. Let's go. Great movie, Almost Famous, for those that don't know it.
It is.
I appreciate all the treasures and everybody out there, new, old, and to come. Anything you want to say to them? You know, it's been a while since you've been able to play a show. You did play a show, but like tour and stuff. You've gotten more followers from TikTok and from social media and from the last couple of years. What do you want to say to those that know you, those that don't know you? Go for it.
Wow, thanks for putting me on the spot. Guys, I miss you. I miss seeing you guys all at shows and stuff. And I can't wait to get out and see you guys again soon. And I really hope you guys will check out this album. I think Marianas Trench fans will like it, but I don't know. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. I certainly enjoyed making it. And I can't wait to see you guys soon. Thank you so much for your support all through the years and for listening. And I'm so grateful because of everyone's support and everyone listening to all these songs I've been writing. That's what I get to do every day, which is still the craziest thing, that I just get to do that every day. And I feel so grateful. So thanks, guys.
Follow up to what you just said about putting you on the spot. I remember it just came to my mind a couple years ago, probably more than a couple years ago, maybe around a story or something. I was going through a hard breakup, very depressed, very down. Gunzy was not happy, very sad, and I had you on. Sure. And I was like, Josh, you have any advice? And you're just like, Gunz, you're like, my life is fucked up, dude. I can't give you any advice.
We were in the exact same spot, and I was like, I'm not
You're
the
like-
guy to ask.
You literally, I was like, I can connect with Josh. He'll give me something good. You're like, dude, I'm fucked. Don't ask me help for advice.
Still dealing with it. Yeah, yeah.
Always a good time, man. I fucking love you. Give my best to everybody else. Also, for the record, though, Marianas Trench isn't done. Like things will,
No.
they're not broken up, nothing like that. Like,
Nope.
Marianas Trench
No.
it will be good again, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is, like I said, I mean, for the first half of the pandemic, no one was allowed to see each other anyway. And then it was like, well, I got to finish this idea. I got to see this through now.
Cool. Well, everyone's happy for you. The crowd is doing great as well. Appreciate all the trenchers out there. Josh, you're the best. December 3rd, check it out. Brand new song, then the full album. Love you, dude. Keep in touch, man. So good to reconnect. I'll see you in New York whenever that is, man.
Sounds good, Gunz. Good to see you, pal. Thanks, guys.
And there you have it. Once again, shout out to our buddy, Ross Ramsay from Marianas Trench. I want you all to make sure that you follow him on all the socials. December 3rd, it's going to be happening. The brand new song, he talked it up and everything. For the first-time viewers out there, make sure to drop a follow. Follow me on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, The Gunz Show. Be safe, rock and roll, do the damn thing. It's a Thursday night. The weekend officially begins tomorrow, just a couple more hours away. Stay safe, do the damn thing. Ball in. Peace. Love you all. Let's go.